Thank you, Madam Chairman. Chief Christensen, in my district we have what's called the Bonneville Shoreline Trail. It's a partially completed project that, when completed, will stretch 280 miles through Utah. This multi-use trail will connect communities and also take pressure off our overused canyons. While LWCF funds have been used to help complete parts of the trail, there remains a lot of work to be done. And local Forest Service staff has said that some areas are not eligible for these funds, but there seems to be some confusion on that matter. Recently, my staff shared with USDA some parcels of particular concern, and would just ask today that you perhaps look into that and be willing to work with my staff and your folks on the ground in Utah to see if we can complete that trail.
Thank you, Ranking Member. I am aware of the great work on the Bonneville Shore Trail. It's a part of our shared stewardship ethic that we work across boundaries, and we are absolutely committed to work with your staff on outstanding questions.
Thank you, and thanks for your personal awareness of that issue. Recently, my office sent a letter outlining concerns we've heard from outfitters in the Salt Lake area. In short, many of them feel that there's been difficulty in getting the permits necessary to provide recreational outfitters and guide services for the area. Just wanted to see if you were also aware of that, and if by chance that letter had come to your attention.
Yes, Congressman, the letter just recently was sent, and I am aware of it. I've asked our regional forester to make it a priority that we look into those questions and concerns.
Thank you. Last May, Secretary Perdue and our Governor Herbert, signed a shared stewardship agreement letter to protect communities and watersheds by addressing the threat of wildfires in Utah. I understand that some of these projects are already underway. Are you able to speak to any progress that's been made in Utah for preparing for this upcoming fire season?
Yes, I'm very pleased to say that Utah is leading the way, quite frankly, in this notion of shared stewardship, that we look comprehensively at mutual priorities and goals. We leverage our collective resources, and we get the strategic work done in the right place at the right scale, really addressing what I call the scale mismatch. The size of our threats to our forests and our watershed are greater than the response we've been able to do to date. The Utah had a foundational initiative, the Watershed Restoration Initiative, that we've really built on, and I use Utah as a good example often.
Thank you. It doesn't surprise me. I'm frequently proud of my state, and I would hope that we would be among your star states for cooperation and working together on a very serious problem. We talk a lot about deferred maintenance backlog at the Department of the Interior, much of which is within the National Park System, and it has to do with roads and infrastructure. While this is important, we shouldn't forget about the backlog at the Forest Service. Would you like to speak towards this a little bit more, the maintenance needs and what Congress should be aware of when it deals with service and the importance of the forest roads to rural communities?
Thank you, Congressman. Yes, I'd like to expand on that a little bit more from my opening statement. As you all know, Forest Service has a robust multiple-use mission. We certainly provide access to recreation for over 150 million Americans. But as I said in my opening statement, we have 370,000 miles of road, and it really does connect. It's a large part of connecting rural America. So it's more than just the access, it's more than just getting the work done, it's a connection of rural America, primarily in the West, but we are absolutely committed to get the right work, focused right work done on maintenance backlog should this Congress see to help us with additional resources.
Thank you. Deputy Director Ned, in light of the administration's change of heart on LWCF since the budget was submitted, I have a question that I'd like to ask you, and let me kind of paint the framework for that. Part of the challenge of LWCF is that many folks on the Hill don't know and aren't aware of how the program actually operates. In a letter in 2015, the chairman of this committee said to Mr. Bishop, each and every acquisition is reviewed by the agency before being approved by Congress. The fact of the matter is, in many scenarios, neither is occurring. This committee has sought information on the LWCF from consecutive administrations. What land do we own? How much land has been bought? Why was it bought? Where is it located? Rarely have we been gotten the answers to these questions. Part of the problem is that under the current framework, no one seems to know. I have a few seconds left. This is just a yes or no. Before Congress gets voting on the permanent mandatory LWCF bill, will you commit to brief the senators and House representatives on how this program works?
Congressman, I will certainly take that back to the Secretary and the Director, and we will do our best.
All right, that wasn't a commitment, but you're lucky I'm out of time, and I yield my time, Mr. Chairman.